everyone, welcome to our question and answer live stream. I hope you guys are excited. We just started this up again, and it's been one of the more popular things that we do on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and open up the floor to questions. I'll answer them in the order they come in. Feel free to ask as many as you like. Hopefully we can get a full hour full of questions, and we'll move on from there. Alright, start with Jason Klessman, who asks, what do you like for Lindis's last item, revive or a damage item? Jason, I like the damage item. I take Fenrir's right now, but I am going to be fiddling around and adjusting the Lindis build that I use right now to kind of match more of how I think she should build. I built the one I use right now. I just built really quickly. I didn't put a ton of thought into it. I just really try to knock it out fast. So I'm going to build a Lindis build that has a lot more detail and thought behind it. But I still don't see myself getting the revive item, and the reason why is because I think the revive item is mostly worthless on most heroes. I think it's a very overused item, and it's proofed in the fact that for the most part, when people die and they come back to life, they just die again. It just doesn't seem like it's something that is really worthwhile on taking. Sorry, for most heroes. Big yawn there. Okay, next we have Eternal Winter. Says, does cooldown have a cap? Oh no, sorry. Jungle Violet or Sidelane Violet? Jungle Violet I think is probably still doable. Sidelane Violet I don't think quite is. Doesn't make any sense. There's no reason to take Sidelane Violet when Marksman Violet is the best way to go. So Jungle Violet should probably still be pretty useful, but Sidelane Violet is a no-go. Then we have Higinio Ramirez. Does cooldown have a cap on support? The answer to that is yes. Cooldown does have a cap on all heroes of 40%. So anything over 40% is a waste. Doesn't matter what kind of hero it is. It still caps off there. Then we have Sato. How did you first meet Pete? Pete started coming to the channel and hanging out and playing with me during one of the sets of tryouts that we did. Tryouts and boot camps and all that kind of stuff. And he was a Tara / Zill main when I met him, and I talked him into playing support, and he's been killing it there ever since. Does attack speed have a maximum cap? Yes, Creed. Attack speed has a maximum cap of 200%. So you cannot get over 200% attack speed. That's as fast as you can go. And simple question, simple answer. Junior says, what do you feel is the best starting item for 80 pen warriors to replace Mantle? I would probably, if you're going offensive, I'd probably go with, let's go into our armor here and take a look real quick. So talking about like lane people who would normally take that first, which isn't, I didn't really think it was a solid starting item anyways, but let's see, let's just do Arthur for example. Let's say we're doing a build like this. You could either keep Mantle on, because for the people who use Mantle in the proper way, for the burn, I think that's useful. If you're using it as a damage item because of the AD, then I would just go to attack and buy Rank Breaker as a first item. I think that's a really solid item for 80 pen warriors. Or stick with the defensive item and get something like Mantle, or if you're not a close range person, you can get something like Odin's Will. Works as well. Or you can get Hercules Madness if you really want to, although I'm not a huge fan of that. Or just like a standard tank item, like Shield of the Lost or Aegis if you want cooldown reduction, or even Hyoga's Edge if you just want all-around tankiness and survivability. Rourke Scorching Wind or Soul Reaver? What's up, Nick? Welcome to the stream. I'm going to be saying Rourke with Soul Reaver. I still think Soul Reaver is really good on him. Let's take a look at the differences for people who are not, too familiar with it. Soul Reaver is going to give 15 attack damage, 15% attack speed, and lifesteal. And then it's going to get the first passive. Attacks place a mark on the target, dealing 15 plus 1 every 3 levels magic damage, each stack up to 6 stacks. So it's obviously a very high, it's a high attack speed, and then it's a high for attack speed. And then the other passive gives 1.5% attack speed for a monster killed, up to 30, giving it a total of 45% attack speed plus the 15 you already have. So it's 60% life attack speed for this item. That's kind of where the base lies into it, and this is a attack damage item. My preferred way to build Rourke, and I will preface that by saying I haven't built Rourke in a while, so it's very possible things have changed. But I build him this way, almost all tanky. It's a off tank build. When I was building Rourke had an issue where he didn't scale past a certain point in damage, so he would essentially kind of cap himself. So I really liked the way he could farm early with Soul Reaver and the potent damage he could put out, and I thought that his ultimate was enough, especially as a jungler, where he could kind of mainly gank when his ult is up, that his ult is enough to keep him really tanky. And so I liked Scorching Wind's ability to kind of really to get your damage started off right. You get a little life steal, and then of course you get the extra AD as it goes. 50% cooldown reduction, which is great because on Rourke the main things you want to do is your ultimate and get your first ability up as often as possible. So it just gets him a really good start to clearing, to good ganks, and then of course he gets extra damage, 2 per stack, 30 stacks. That's 60 extra, giving him a total of 115 attack damage on this item, which is really solid. So I say Soul Reaver. I'd rather just pack a punch and have a lot of survivability because I can keep packing punches over and over again. That's my favorite way to build Rourke right now. Now, if I played him some more and try to, I would try Scorching Wind out and see if it works out for me. But from my experience, this is it. But again, my experience is a little bit older, so I'm not sure if things have changed too much on him. I mean, I know he hasn't gotten nerfed or buffed very hard, so it would just be a matter of whether maybe that weird hard cap to his damage got fixed. Because I would build all 5 tier 3 items would be damage, and then I would build Dig 2, and the damage difference on his, on an up close 1 auto attack wasn't that much. Buying 3 additional damage items didn't really help the damage that much, so that's why I'm on that. Let's see. Shikamaru says, do you think if Tara gets a buff to her passive damage to 9 to 15 increase, and her second skill gets a chance to stun by 30% per hit, that she will get more used? Yeah, I'm sure she would, but man, that's kind of overpowering her. Her survivability is already off the chart, so let's take a closer look at Tara so we can get an idea of what we're talking about here. So her passive is gain 3 to 6 attack damage, scaled with hero level for each 1% of HP lost. And then 8% of recurrent HP is consumed on ability use, but 9% of lost HP is restored over 3 seconds. So let's take a look at that. That's 3 to 6 attack damage per percent missing. So that maxes out about 150 to, so let's say at full level, it's 6, let's say 50%, right? Because there's no max. At 50% health missing, Tara right now gets a ridiculous amount of damage. So let's get the old handy dandy calculator out so we can kind of best illustrate this. So she's getting 6 per percent. 6 times 50 is 300 extra AD. And let's say she's missing 75%. 6 times 75 is 450 extra AD. Now you're talking about adding in 9 to 15. So 15 times 75 is 1125. That's an entire AD. That's more than most heroes can get to with a full AD build. So no, that would be ridiculous. That would be way overpowered, and it would be nuts. She'd be hitting harder than people who are building all damage items while still being insanely tanky. And if you add a chance to stun to her second ability, I think that would also be a little ridiculous. She's already she already survives enough. You give her some chance, you know, hard crowd control. Tara needs a rebuild, not buffs or nerfs. I mean, she's just not going to. If you buff her too much in the current state that she's in, she'll become wildly overpowered. And if you don't, and if you nerf her, she obviously becomes really weak. Right now, she's just kind of a nothing burger. And if you buff her, it's just going to be, it's hard to buff her without getting her overpowered. She already has insane survivability and tankiness, and then you're going to add in, you know, and the damage she can do when she's low health is already pretty decent. She already gets a lot of attack damage from that. There's not a whole lot of directions Tara can go. She's either going to stay stale where she's at now, or she's going to need to be rebuilt entirely. Okay, build an Arcana for Tell. Man, I haven't built out Tell in a little while. I would almost refer back to...
I will see my destiny to the end.
I would almost go to... This is the build I last used on her. This is a while ago, and she's been changed quite a bit. So I'm not sure this build wouldn't work now. I would really want to test her out a little bit. This is a pretty decent combination of attack speed with some crit and some lifesteal. This is actually a lot of lifesteal, to be honest. It's a base lifesteal of 30%, including whatever you have maybe in your Arcana. But I think this is pretty... Well, this is... Obviously, you probably wouldn't jungle with her, so let's just build a quick non-jungle build, right? And this is actually it, I think. Yeah, this is it. So Fafnir's in place of Scorching Wind, and then Fafnir's gets replaced by Omni Arms. So still a decent amount of attack speed, but it hits hard. I like Omni Arms on her because that first shot after she hits her one hits like a tank, and the first shot after her ultimate hits like a tank. So if you hit somebody with the ultimate, bam, nice shot, and then yeah, pretty good. I think this is a pretty solid build. And then Arcana wise,
the universe unfolds around.
I honestly would just do the 80 crit Arcana. Give her more crit, give her harder crits, give her some armor pierce, give her some movement speed. This is just all around the most potent thing I've found for marksman of all kinds. So I would go with the 80 crit for sure. So that is Rampage, 10 Rampage, 10 Assassinate, and 10 Skewer. Okay, next question. Sato said, so you basically created the legendary Pete we know today. I didn't create the legendary Pete we know today. I just helped Pete find his place. He's a very team-oriented guy. He's a very natural, selfless player. Very, very naturally selfless player, and that is what you want in a support. It just fit what he brings to the table. He really enjoys making plays regardless of what that looks like. So, yeah. Let's see. Junior said spear maybe. I'm assuming that's from your last question. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know why spear wouldn't work. It's got a little bit more interestingly tanky. Sure, that could be a fine starting item on some of those, like some of those off-tank warriors that used it before. Hey, what's up, Prince? Welcome on the Facebook side. Hey, welcome on the Twitch side, guys. We've got a couple people over there. So let me answer things in order. We've got next. Junior says, thinking about buying Lifesteal Arcana, would that be worth on certain warrior tanks? No, not really. Not at all, Junior. So let me explain a little bit about how Lifesteal works. Lifesteal only works on auto attacks. Okay, so most of your warriors don't hit very hard with their auto attacks. It's their abilities that do the majority of their damage. or the majority of their usefulness. So the lack of damage in auto attacks means less lifesteal, making lifesteal arcana and lifesteal items in general on most warrior, especially tanky warriors, useless. Even just warriors, like think about Ryoma, who really does nasty damage, or Ari, who can do really nasty damage. The majority of that damage is done through abilities, not through actual auto attacks. So for physical damage lifesteal, it only works on auto attacks. Now the magic lifesteal works on abilities, because it wouldn't make sense to do auto attacks. Auto attacks can hit for physical also, or they do hit for physical rather. So yeah, the magic lifesteal works on abilities that do magic damage, and the physical damage only works on auto attacks. So good question. Strategy says live during the day. Yes, the Q&A sessions are going to be during the day. It's actually a video I'll be making, so I'll do a live stream, and then I'll kind of do some editing and make it a video for that day also. One of my more popular content that we put out there for some roses is the Q&A. Noob says at school at the moment. Well, that's not a question. MDM Pop Tart says, is the fog impactful enough to turn on? No, it's not impactful enough to turn on. It's not what I was hoping it would be. I was hoping it would alter the mini-map. I'm not sure it helps at all, to be honest, the way it is. Shikamaru says, could you please make a video showing how you would rebuild her? Yeah, I'll talk about it sometime during a Q&A or during a live stream. Yeah, I'll talk about it during a live stream at some point. What we would do to fix her. Okay, Noob says, okay, what do you think makes a great leader for teams of 5? Okay, that's a really weirdly structured sentence, but I know what you mean. Okay, so a leader, here's some of the qualities that a leader needs to have for a team of 5. Obviously patience being one of them. And I think, that's hard for anyone, especially in a game like this where it's we're not face to face, we're talking on comms and kind of trying to help each other grow and stuff like that. It can be difficult. It's a hard game to coach people on from a distance. So patience obviously is a good one. Some of the other things I think that they need is you need to have confidence as a leader. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know when you're doing it, and you need to have confidence. And the reason why is because the only thing worse than a bad strategy is a strategy that people don't fully commit to. What I mean by that is, like, if I'm the shot caller and I'm the leader of a team and I say, hey, we're going dragon, and you don't have confidence in what you're saying and people don't believe in you, then it'll be totally worthless, because if not everyone fully commits to whatever the strategy and the plan of action is, it is going to end up way worse than making the wrong decision. Because you can like, let's say I say let's go dragon and it's the wrong decision, right? It wasn't a good call. Well, you can still salvage that as long as you're working as a team. But if you don't work as a team, aka you don't speak with confidence, you don't know what you're talking about, and your team doesn't believe in you, then even if you're making the right call, but you're fragmented as a group because not everyone believes in what you're saying, or you're not portraying it that way, then it's automatically worse than a bad strategy. It's unsalvageable. You're almost always going to fail in that scenario when the team isn't working as a unit. So confidence, knowledge, all that stuff, and that goes in part. So this is what I've always told people from my experience playing professional games. There's a difference between me making a bad call and somebody not following up on that call. And I'll tell you what that looks like. So for example, if I say, hey, let's go get dragon, and you as one of the people on my team does not properly execute your job in that, that's on you. Okay, that's your fault for not properly executing what you were supposed to do. Whether that means you didn't go to dragon, or you went to dragon but you didn't execute the strategy that we've discussed in the past of how we want to take dragon or how we want to do those scenarios, then that's on the player for not doing their job properly, not listening properly. Now, if I call out dragon and dragon is the wrong call, then it's on me to say, hey, if the team committed and we got screwed because I made the wrong call, and that's on me to say, hey, I made the wrong call. It is what it is. You're not always going to make the right calls. It's not about making the right calls. It's about people listening and following through and understanding the plan and executing it. And so if you're going to be a leader in the games, it's important that you are a leader outside of the game. So when you're doing practices and stuff like that, for example, when you have set things you want to do, like rotations or taking dragon or dark slayer, or diving a tower, or diving the core, or whatever plan of action you want to do, whether it's in engaging a team fight mid by having some people flank, some people go in and kind of sandwiching the teams in the middle. There's a lot of different routes to take, right, on how you can do these things. The important thing is that you make everyone on your team knowledgeable about what their job is. That's what expectations are so important, right? Because it's not fair for me to go, hey, you didn't do your job properly, when I didn't tell you what your job was or what it entailed. So preparation is king, training is king, making sure that there's good expectations. Everyone on your team should know what is expected of them at all times, and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, next I'm gonna go to. I don't have any Twitch questions, so let's see. Do we have any Facebook questions? No. Okay, let's keep going here. I hope that answered your question about the leadership. Creed said it's 2 a.m. here and why I'm not sleeping. Question: Beast or Bow of Slaughter on Wukong? I am taking Bow of Slaughter on Wukong right now because I like the crit on it, but I've switched. I don't take either anymore, to be honest. So I've done both of them. Actually, I think probably overall the best item on Wukong is Bow. So like I've gone through a lot of builds on Wukong. The one that I've settled on is my original Wukong build, which is this one. This does the most overall damage on Wukong. If your job is to do flat damage, this is the build. If you're a great Wukong player and you know exactly what you're doing, this is the best build on Wukong. Now, if you are still learning Wukong, you need more survivability, this is a good build for you. You get some reduction in your stuns and slows with Slick Sting and with Gilded Greaves, and you get some lifesteal to make you a little bit better at surviving so you can get out. Now, if you're a master juker like me on Wukong, where I really just don't need this stuff as much, that's the highest damage. I've also fiddled with this build, which is okay, but I'll tell you, it's neither the most damage nor the most survivability. So keep that in mind. I fiddled with a lot of different Wukong builds. I got 5 of them built out. This is the highest damage. This is the highest survivability. This is a solid mix of both. And there's kind of different variations of those. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay. Higinio says, what is the best support in your opinion right now in current meta? Best support right now in current meta is... Let's take a look at some supports here. Now, I'm always gonna answer these questions in a team setting, not in a solo queue setting, so keep that in mind. The best support right now in the current meta is probably... Man, it's a tough one, actually. That's a tough question. So, I think it's probably still Minna. Although, I'll tell you some new players that are involved. Thane is really strong right now. Way stronger than I thought he would be at the moment. So Thane is pretty strong right now. I don't know, whatever was that for? Okay, so Thane is strong. I think Pura's a little underrated. She does a great job. Kelvin, I am looking at the YouTube live comments, but I'm going in order. This is a question and answer session. So when I get to your question, I'll answer it. I have other people who are asking questions also. Teamy's fairly strong right now. Alice is strong. Yeah, I think Annette's overrated right now. I think she's not as useful as she could be. But I would say Minna is very strong. I think Arduin is okay. The two people also that I want to kind of mention that I am hoping people try out more often is a tank build on Alistair with full cooldown reduction. I think is really underrated. I'm also hoping that more people trying Lumia in the support role. The next time I get support, I'll try Lumia for you guys, or Alistair, so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay. Where does Maganga fit in the meta? Maganga doesn't fit in the meta right now, unfortunately. I know some people like him, but overall, Maganga is going to get destroyed by any team with a solid either damagey warrior like Ari or Ryoma, or an assassin who can, you know, do any kind of sneaking or mobility stuff. Maganga is just the last tank you want to have on or the last mage you want to have on your team. And as far as support is, he's not a support, guys. He can't his healing isn't enough like Pura's to where it's a huge difference maker, and he has virtually no crowd control. A support has got to have crowd control. That's like the very basic part of being a support. You got to be able to have crowd control because you got to be able to peel for your marksman, and you got to be able to help set things up for your marksman. And you know, Maganga can do neither of those. I wish Maganga's kit was... I do love the idea of a kit that has the dot damage, right? I love... Dot damage is damage over time. I like the idea of having that, but I don't think it's executed well enough on Maganga's kit to make a difference. I feel like he should have at least a very small hard crowd control. Even if it was half a second or like 3/4 of a second stun, I think that would do wonders for him. And if one of his abilities gave even just a movement speed buff, it would be great. And you know, if you do the stun and the movement speed, you're gonna have to take his damage down a little bit because his damage can be overpowering if you don't, you know, if you just sit there and take it. But he needs to be able to have a way to secure something, or take him to fully support and up his healing substantially. So he has dot healing. So he has healing over it's called HOTS, healing over time. And give him some real stuns, and then lower his damage. Make him fit into a role. Right now, he doesn't fit neither the mage nor the support role. The damage is great. There's no argument about the damage. Damage is great, but it only works if the enemy team just takes it and doesn't fight back. Any enemy team with an assassin is just going to fight back and kill him. CG Longwang says Xanis build. I'm going to skip on doing too many builds on this, and especially for a guy like Xanis who's not even really usable right now. Sato says $20 for that. Yeah, $20 and I'll definitely give you a Xanis build. Hellfire Blood says awesome. Thank you, man. AME says, what hero does the best burn AoE damage? The best AoE burn damage in the game right now is got to be Arthur. Arthur can do the most of it by a lot. Arthur can do... I don't know the hell Arthur's at. Arthur, where'd you go, buddy? I lost Arthur. There he is. Arthur does burn damage from... His ultimate has a burn residue damage. His 2 has a burn residue damage. And he has the knock up from his ultimate to keep people locked in. He has the movement speed and the slow from his first ability to keep people locked in. Yeah, this dude it's burn damage everywhere. And he has the slows and the stuns to keep people near him. So you do this, all his abilities combined with Leviathan, Mantle of Ra, and Barris Agony, and then you throw on Hyoga's Edge to give him an additional snow, and he just is like unkillable. It's impossible to get away from him, and then he just sits there and burns you to death. His dot damage is ridiculous. Okay. Hellfire Bolt says, are they going to upgrade the servers anytime? I have no idea, Hellfire. I hope so. I hope they become a little bit more stable. Strategy says, I personally like the new mantle. What about you? I do like the new mantle. I think it's a solid item for tanks. I'm a much bigger fan of having items like that. First of all, it's a higher burn than it used to be. It's a higher damage for the burn part, which is nice. Especially if you're building on the tanks and the normal heroes you build it on. And then I think I prefer one-sided items that are mainly one thing. With the exception of, like, I want tank items and I want attack damage items. I want a couple items that do like in between, but like not really. I'd rather have one full tank item and one full damage item and just split the difference rather than having like some half items. The exception being magic items. There should be some magic items that have some tankiness to them. So I'm okay with all the magic items that have tankiness. So I like the new mantle though. How does one get better at AoE? Man, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of knowing what you're doing. It takes a lot of introspection, which means looking at your gameplay about what you can do better. and that's not always hard. That's always easy for people. I mean, so many people come in here like, oh man, I'm like the best player ever, but I'm stuck in silver because my teammates all suck and they go AFK all the time. That's not going to be helpful to you. I know we all get teammates. I know we can all get frustrated by our teammates. But the only thing you can do, if you're trying to improve yourself, then you need to look at your own gameplay and figure out what to do better. Do you like being aggressive or passive in a game? Both. Depends on what your team comp is like, and depends on what the situation of the game is. That's actually the speaking of how to get better at AoV, that's actually one of the most important things I could teach anyone about AoV. The knowledge of when to be aggressive and when to be passive in this game will literally, if you could just learn when to be aggressive, when to be passive, and you suck at this game, you're like complete garbage at the game. But you learned really well how to be aggressive, and when to be aggressive, when to be passive, you could be a beast in this game. 100%. That is the hardest thing to learn, and it is the most important thing to learn. When to go and when to stay. So, yes, as far as the question of how to get better, really start to understand when to be aggressive, when to be passive. Okay. Creed said, I recently find out that this game is not even available in my country somehow. I made email AD on a different country. Hopefully they upgrade the servers. Yep, that would be good. Kelvin says, what rank are you in? Right now, I'm Platinum 2 or 3, I think. Maybe 4, I don't know. The servers just reset here. Platinum 3. Okay. What's up with the, I think, Asian countries being in one server? I've seen that a lot. There's, depending on which Asian countries you're talking about, they're merging several of the Asian countries into one server. Yeah, there's a lot more people to play with in Asia, for sure. Tank build on Alistair, it's interesting. Yeah, Alistair deserves a tank build to be tanky and to be able to throw out his crack control as often as possible. And as frequently as possible. Okay, Shikamaru says, which hero do you think that someone whose main is Tara should also look into? If you love Tara for whatever twisted, sick reason, heroes that you should also be looking into. I would actually look into Arduin. I would look into Arthur. I think that they have a similar playstyle of being able to stay close to people. I would look into... That's pretty much it, man. As far as like who are similar to Tara, that'd be where I start. Maybe Scud would be somebody I'd look into a little bit. Scud is somewhat similar, and just overall playstyle. Maybe Wonder Woman, kind of off tanks. I'd stick to the off tank heroes that have a pretty decent mix of tankiness and damage. When will this game die? Who knows? Never. Elsu build. Yeah, I got 2 Elsu builds for you. I'm probably gonna put out a video about this here soon, shortly, to be honest. For one of my how to build videos on Elsu, I'll kind of explain the whole situation. But here is, real quick, here is the damage build, high damage build, and here is the attack speed build. This one's more for auto attack damage. This is like a mix for high auto attacks and decent snipes, and this is like full big dick snipes. Now I just built Sylvie run them. This is big dick snipe shots. You know, and I might even get rid of freaking the beast and sell it for something else, like Muramasa. I don't know. But this is big dick snipes here, and this is these are jungle builds. But let's see, in lane builds, I've fiddled a lot of builds. So let me give you a lane build. I guess he doesn't get played in the jungle because he's not good there. Yeah, let me build a new build for you real quick. A quick one. Look at my prejudice showing. I said no to Xanis, but yes to Elsu. It's terrible. First item, probably just gonna rock out some rank breaker. We'll go with a boots. I'm okay on boots with you can go a couple different ways. You can go Hermes because it's kind of a travel time's not too shabby. That's not nearly as useful. You could go Gilded Greaves to kind of enhance your survivability. You could go Flashy Boots if you want to get cooldown reduction. I'm actually going to take Flashy Boots because I think this is going to be a straight snipe specialty build, okay? So just bomb snipes, okay? And hard auto attacks. Now here's one of the common misconceptions on Elsu. Let's go back to Elsu's hero page, right? So Elsu's passive is each 1% critical chance Elsu converts into 3 attack damage. So keep that in mind, because we might take a item that does crit, and that's why, because we're getting even more attack damage. Like this, that actually ends up being a pretty ridiculous amount of crit, damage. So it's 30, 60, 75 extra attack damage. So this is 165 attack damage if you take Clave Safety. And the passive's useless, but the crit is nice. And then, yeah, we're going to take, probably take Muramasa here. We're going to take Fenrir's here. And we'll probably take Bow of Slaughter, because Bow of Slaughter ends up being beastly on him, because it does 90 attack damage. The 20% crit turns into damage. It's 60 damage. 60. This is 150 attack damage on this item, plus the lifesteal, and then you could also do the increased lifesteal. The passive still works on him. And as far as a 5th item, you go a couple different ways here. You could go something like the Beast, because it's just straight 100 attack damage and a lot more lifesteal, so he's gonna be like really able to steal lifesteal. You could do something like Omni Arms to get an enhanced auto attack after some more cooldown reduction and enhanced auto attack. That's probably, I wouldn't probably build it there though. Maybe we'll swap these two around. Now this gives you some attack damage, some attack speed, lifesteal, cooldown reduction, HPs, and this gets you the enhanced auto. So like if you have to snipe and then auto, or you use your ult and then auto, your auto attack's a little bit more enhanced, a little bit more damage. So not too bad. That would be a straight bully shot, and then I'm not even gonna build a. I like attack speed on him though. So like this is what I kind of would do with attack speed. Maybe just switch out one of the items for Blitzblade. So just maybe switch out the first item for Blitzblade, probably like that, or maybe even like this. But this is heavily centered around the attack speed, meaning auto attacks. He can hit a lot of fast auto attacks. His auto attacks hit like a freight train, so it's actually really solid. That's Elsu. Okay, next question. What is your favorite hero right now? I don't have a favorite. People always ask me that question. I don't really have favorite heroes. I like playing a lot of people. I like playing around. So I don't have a favorite right now. I just kind of play whoever and see how I can do it. So I really don't have a favorite. There's not somebody I'm like, oh my god, I love this hero. I love playing a lot of different people. Love spreading it and the love around. Detroit says, what's going on? I don't think I've seen you stream so early before. Yeah, this is, our Q&As are always going to be early. Is Zenial still good? Says Edward Yu. Yeah, Zenial's still usable. He's not as strong as he used to be, but he's still definitely usable. I think he's still viable in certain team comps, depending on what you're doing. But yeah, I think Zenial's still good. What do you think about Mantle of Ra on Astrid? I've been trying it out. Yeah, sure. Astrid's a off tank. Build her like an off tank. Mantle of Ra is probably better now on her than it used to be. Like right now, this is my old Astrid build. I would probably switch Spear out for Mantle of Ra now. I think it's fine. I think this is a pretty good build on her. If you want to go more damage, you can. This is a little jungle build. She got a couple different things she can do. This is a little bit more tanky jungle build, but yeah, this is a decent. Mantle of Ra is fine on her. I mean, it just makes her tank. As long as it's one of your tank items that you're playing. Do I still do skin giveaways? No, I do not. I do sometimes, not very often. Not as often as I used to. Not weekly. Detroit says, I don't know if it's just me, but I seem to constantly get lag spikes when playing on different Wi-Fi home reference. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting lag spikes like crazy too. Just all the time, lag spikes. I don't know why, but it is what it is. The server's been really unstable. The game's been really unstable ever since the latest update. Well, there's always been a lot of glitches, but they've gotten much worse. Creed says, it's time to lead Tara, man. Yep, time to lead Tara. Question, what's a great build for Zill to be a carry stork? I don't know what a carry stork means, but this is the Zill build I would use on anything. This is the one I've had for a long time on Zill. and it's the one I'll continue to use. You could, if you really wanted to, you could do this. Hold on. You could swap out Loki's Curse for Orb of the Magi if you're taking a mid, but this is the build. Now this is kind of a 1v1 build, but I love Apocalypse on him because you do get an auto attack off when you land from your ultimate, which can be devastating. Or you could teleport an auto attack on somebody who's low and just one-shot them. So this is a jungle build that I would use on him. Gives him some tankiness, some damage, but he can shred with this build for sure. Let's see here. Bernard Miller, $1 donation. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it very much. Creed Hearts. Bernard has a question. Let's see. Who are your top 5 Darkslayer laners? Okay. Top 5 Darkslayer laners right now are probably going to be... I'm not gonna order them. I'm just gonna say top 5. I'd say, I mean, Florentino probably gotta be up there. Wonder Woman's gotta be up there. I still think Ari's a top 5. She's not getting played as much, but I still think Ari's top 5. So that's 3. Rioma's 4. And then 5. You know, I'm gonna throw out some love towards probably Richter right now. That's a pretty rough. I mean, I'm gonna make a video of top 5 Darkslayers here shortly, Bernard. So if you're looking for a really thorough list, this is like a off top of my head list because I don't have Malik on here. You know, I don't have Xenia. Like, I'm gonna make some really thoroughly well thought out top 5 videos for all 5 positions here in the coming weeks. So I appreciate the donation though, Bernard. I hope that gave you some insight on some people I like. CG Longwang says best hero to carry. Best hero to carry. I mean, you're looking at somebody like Murad, any of the assassin or marksman, to be honest. Any assassin, not any of them. I mean, I think Wukong can carry fairly well. Florentino obviously can carry. Cricknet can carry if he gets really fed. Ryoma can carry. Quill can carry. Zil can carry. Murad can carry. And then on the marksman side, the best to carry right now is Talanas, Wisp, and Violet and Lindis probably. Elsu can kind of carry, but I don't really see him as a hard carry guy because he sits so far back in us. And Hayate can carry in the right hands. Joella's here, finished packing, and her classes got out really late. Welcome, Joella. Do I have an Ari build? The Ari build's a little old, but I think it's probably still fairly usable. Let's go to Ari. This is the Ari build. Now, Manta Raw has changed, so this is going to be different. Yeah, I'm going to probably take Manta Raw out of here right now. Like, all together. So, Manta Raw, I'm not sure fits her at the moment. I'd probably go ahead and put Rank Breaker first. And then move Frost Cape up. Man, I have to rethink that build a little bit because I don't have a fort. Yeah, I like Rank Breaker on her. I'm not against Mantla Raw as her like main tank item, to be honest. Although she's never gonna use the burn damage, so I'd probably be better off just going Odin's Will. It's more tanky, and she'll actually use the passive on Odin's Will with her ultimate. It'll kind of work together. Omni Arms after Frost Cape? No, they don't work together, so that doesn't make any sense. I'm not against this build. I know this doesn't seem like it's a lot of damage, but the Frost Cape does damage. You're going to get damage from Odin's Will and obviously the 2 damage items. If you really wanted to, you could do this and then do another damage item. She just, as far as what damage item, man, it would be... You could go Muramasa for more lifesteal if you really wanted to. You could go Spear of Longinus for cooldown reduction and the attack damage and a little bit tank. It's like this wouldn't be too bad. You may not make the most use of the passive, but it's not too shabby. Really, you just want attack damage. But you could go Muramasa also. Any of that kind of basic combination will work. Yeah, you could do that. You could take out Frostcape, put in, like you could do this, for example, if you really wanted to. Although I think the slow is really good on her from Frostcape, so I would still keep Frostcape, but you could do something like this where you switch these items out and do like that, or like that. But I'm keeping Frostcape because I like the slow on her. Yeah, Omni Arms with Kyoga's Edge would work too. That would be, if I did Kyoga's Edge, I'd change a little bit else about the build, but I'm gonna probably have to do a new. I'm doing new builds on as many people as I can. So right now, let's see. What's the fastest way to get gold? Well, to get gold fast, you gotta go to, oops, a shop. Go to the gem shop. You can buy. Oh, this is only the double XP. Oh, the daily. You buy double, buy the double gold cards for 10 wins, and then you can get some gold cards from other things that do. I don't even know if where those are even found, to be honest. Some of them you can buy, or you get them from doing stuff that are like double gold for time frame, so like 7 days double gold, and then you can do. And then you're just gonna spam games, man. You just gotta play. Yeah, just gotta play. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Gonna play a lot. Who do you think is the best support hero for beginning the match by invading enemy jungle? I mean, probably some of the best support heroes for invading are. I'm gonna narrow it down to 3 for you. Okay. I think it's not too hard to narrow it down to 3. And the 3 are going to be Teamy for Pooty Poots. It's a high damage stun, long stun, AoE stun. It can stun more than one person. So if there's 2 or 3 people there defending it, really solid. The second person is going to be Pura, because she can throw out the bird, which stuns over and over again, and she has the heals. Now she obviously has to choose one, but whether you're healing to help give your people more health, or she has options is the point. And then the third option is probably somebody like Grak. If somebody says Aram's not a support, and don't ever play him there. Don't ever play her there again. But Grak, obviously, with being able to pull somebody away from the rest of the team and kill him, or the buff itself. Okay, whatever happened to Master N? He's gone. Detroit says he made a build for Baldwin a while ago. Since the new items have come out, would you still use the same build? Let's take a look at that Baldwin build, and the answer I think is yes, if I'm not mistaken. Baldwin. This is one of my builds for jungling. This is the full support build. Yeah, I would nothing's really changed for me with him. Okay, okay, let's see. What do we got? So, Shikamaru said, Tara build. I appreciate the donation, man. Tara build, non-jungle Arduin, and Arthur build videos, please. I did do a non-Arduin jungle, or a non-jungle Arduin. I mean, I'll give you those, but that's in the video I made. The video has multiple. I just put out a video. Hold on. You got me rethinking my whole life, Shikamaru. Let me head down to my channel real quick and check my videos. I think I made an Arduin build video recently. If I didn't, I will, because I made the builds. If I did, I'll post a link for you. Okay, it's loading. What else do we have? We have a Tara rebuild. Yes, I'll make a Tara rebuild video for you. Yeah, I just made the Arduin build video. It's very recent. I made it on March 29th. I'm going to get you a link for that one, Shikamaru, and then I'll answer the rest of your questions. The Arthur build video, I would say my last Arthur build video, even though it's old, is still very current. So here's the video for the Arduin, a link for the Arduin. And I actually think my build video for Arthur is still current. It's the same concept. Let's see, where's Arthur at? This is an old build on Arthur, but it is still a good build. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up this video. Now, it has changed a little bit. I'm gonna post a link here. Here's a link for the Arthur build video, which I still think is current, Shikamaru. I still use this build. The one thing I've changed on my Arthur build, I'm going to show you what the build is, but you know, for the explanation of why I take which item, watch the video. But I'm going to tell you of one change that I made. So this is it now, right here. I changed Crimson Banner's gone, so obviously I put in Odin's Will in its place. And for fun, I've actually done the same thing, but see, I remove Shield of the Lost. It's a little bit more damage. And I actually replaced it with Barrett's Agony, which makes the burn bananas. So take a screenshot of this build. This build is a lot of fun, with a lot of damage to play. Definitely take a look at this one. And then this is a more tanky, kind of a more serious build on him that is usable. Both of them are good, but just one slight change. So, and I do these in lane also. The burn from Leviathan and Mantle Ra is so worth it that it's worth taking punish in lane. So, and then, okay, I will make a video about rebuilding Tara. I'm going to make a video, or we'll talk about it on live stream for a while one night. We'll figure it out. But Tara rebuild video, I mean, the thing about rebuilding somebody, Shikamaru, is that you really can do whatever you want. Because you're talking about changing the entire character. Now, if you want to talk about, like, a half rebuild where some of it stays the same, but some of it gets done, that's a different story. But we'll hit that up soon. I appreciate the donation, man. So you said Tara rebuild. If you want a Tara build, I can give you a Tara build. But you said Tara rebuild, so I'm assuming you want to know how she can be redone. So just let me know what you're looking for, and I'll get it to you. Okay. Let's see. Arduin can solo lane and support. Yeah, Arduin can do both as well. Yeah. And I have in the build video for Arduin, I do have a support build and a side lane build. Okay. Any Wiro builds? Man, I made a Wiro build when he first came out. Let's see if it's still current. Where's Wiro at? I see just strict tinker now. There he is. I mean, you know, I wouldn't throw out any of these builds. I haven't played enough Wiro to really get a good hold of them. So I'm not going to throw out any Wiro builds right now. I'll make a video on that soon also. Okay. You can use Omni Arms with Hyafa's Edge. I'm assuming you mean Hyoga's Edge. Yeah, you could use Omni Arms with Hyoga's. You get the slow and the damage, but it depends on the hero. Like, so in the instance we're talking about with Ari, for example, right? The reason why Omni's not preferred is because Omni works off of the total AD you have. It's 100% more physical damage. So if you don't have that much AD, which we don't, we only have 2 items for AD. Well, this is her jungle build. We only have 2, maybe 2.5 items for AD. I would, it's just not that much attack damage. So doubling it isn't really worth as much as it is on some other people. So you could do it that way, but I think overall Frostcape kind of gives her everything she needs. Cooldown reduction, armor, max HP, and then obviously a really good passive that I think works really well for her. So I think that's just a really well-rounded item for her. Okay, what do we got next? Joella's taken off. See you, Joella. I'm about to go cook dinner for the wife here shortly also. So, what's a good build for Liliana? Says Ava. Ava, let me show you a good build for Liliana here. I give you 2. 1 for jungle, 1 for in lane. And yes, she's jungleable. Lily, so we got, it's pretty simple. Appears to be lane build. Omni Arms, Gilded Greaves, Apocalypse, Hecate's Diadem, Ria's Blessing, and Holy of Holies gives you really solid auto attacks. Okay, and then the jungle build is the same thing, but just Loki's Curse. So, not too shabby. That's Liliana build. Okay. What's up? Can you do a video with server's best Ryoma? I'm assuming we're talking about Rogue. We do videos with them all the time. So, yeah. It looks like we have a Rogue fan up in the joint. How often do they switch out skins in the pendant shop? I'm not saying anything I like after winning my first pendant. Detroit, I'm with you, buddy. I also, check it out, I also have a pendant. Where's my pendant at? Boom, I have a pendant right here. I haven't used it yet. They don't switch them out too often, man. Not often enough for my taste. So, they did put the Zuka skin in here, but the actual redeem is old stuff. I'm waiting for something better. It doesn't change that often. Okay, what have we got? Will the season 11 skin going to be Ryoma? I have no idea. Well, no idea. Our Shikamaru, so you're looking for a half rebuild. So like you said, you like Tara's ultimate. You like that, yeah? You like the health regeneration. Maybe it's monstrous. Yeah, so Tara needs an identity, is the thing, Shikamaru, and we'll talk about that when we talk about it. We'll do it on live stream, like I said, or we'll do it in an actual video. But Tara needs an identity, and we'll kind of go over it. I have some interesting thoughts on what we can do with Tara to make her a viable hero and an interesting one. Because I don't think the ultimate isn't good. I think the rest of her kit just doesn't add enough to what she needs to do to be a solid hero. Because you might have to nerf the ultimate to make her viable in her other abilities. Like adding a stun and adding some more things to her other abilities would require a nerfing in her passive and a nerfing in her ultimate. So we gotta fiddle with stuff, but we can make something fun happen with her. Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, Ryoma has a lot of skins already, to be honest. I mean, people like skins on the heroes they play, but Ryoma's got what, like 4-5 skins? He's got the Gunslinger, the Bloodthirsty, and then the Yakuza skin. So I mean, he's already got 3. A lot of people don't even have any. Okay, Shikamaru, I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll just do like a one-off video on, theorizing what could be done with certain heroes when they get remastered or they get redone. Yeah, you're right. Violet has a lot. Let's see. I've been using my tank Arcana for Annette. What would be Arcana for her? Is tank? It tank's fine for Annette. Any magic damage dealing support should be tanky, especially early game. A non-jungle Xanus build? Man, I don't have any love for Xanus, to be honest. See, they call him an assassin? No, they don't. I don't have any current builds. I don't play Xanus. I mean, I'll make a video of it eventually, but I ain't got nothing for you on Xanus. Sorry, buddy. If you could only ever have one talent, which one would it be? Flicker or Swift? Probably. I'm assuming you mean Sprint. Probably Sprint. Flicker is too short of a distance and it's very inconsistent. Sprint has more utility overall, I think, if used correctly. Let's see. Is Yorn the best hero in the game? No, not at all. Amelie build? Well, it's been a while since I played Amelie. I do a lot of research when I make these builds, but then I don't play them for a while, so some of them are outdated. Where's good old Amelie at? Man, this is my... No. I think this is one of the first ones I made with Amelie, but it's old. I don't really have a new build on Amelie, to be honest. Not one I feel comfortable passing out as a usable build right now. Arduin needs a new skin. I do agree. Arduin needs a new skin. There's guys like Arduin who don't have that many skins that need new skins. There's a lot of them. I mean, we got Teamy could use a skin, right? I mean, Arthur has a lot. Teamy? I think Teamy only has the one. Teamy could use another skin. Minna could use more skins. Or no, she has a couple. Baldwin could use another one. Ardwin could use another one. Marja could use another one. Lumber. There's a lot of heroes that only have one. Let's get some more for those. Did Thane get a buff from the update? No, he didn't get a buff, man. People are just playing him more and playing him better. Thane's always been good. Thane's always been a solid hero, and he's just getting used more accurately. So, okay, that I still play some. I'm not. I don't play as much as I'd like to, but I still play some. Yeah, Tara could use another skin. True story. Okay, guys, that is our hour. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. We've run out of questions. We've hit the hour mark, so it's a good time to stop. Thanks for watching the Q&A live stream. We'll be posting this up as a video. If you guys want to see the recap of it or see it again, if you missed anything, it'll be posted up as a video here shortly. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, until next time.